Co.
I'd rather be in Olympia with KGY.
1240 KGY, the original South Sound, 536, and happy Valentine's Day. Even you, Brittany, I mean that.
This is a great date. I couldn't have asked for a better date. I mean, Brad didn't even bring me flowers. I didn't get chocolate from him. Nothing. It was an awesome Valentine's Day.
Yeah, that's very true. Very true. Now, if you're hearing this buzzing in the background, that's our friends from Dzul Tattoo and Piercing in Seattle. They've come all the way down to give us a tattoo and tell us about some great specials, because you guys got something going on today, but really there's different things that come up throughout the year. And when you find the right artist and somebody who can really do it correctly, you want to go see that person.
Yeah, I guess when it comes to specials that we do throughout the year, not only do we do them in piercings and tattoos, we also do airbrushing on apparel, and also we do body painting. We do a lot of body painting for Halloween, for fashion shows, and I guess for us right now we're having a photo shoot where we're going to be doing body painting for Mardi Gras and St. Patrick's.
Oh, yeah. Mardi Gras is coming up real soon, isn't it?
Yeah.
Next week
already?
It's on the 20th, I believe.
Wow.
So make sure you check out some of the art that we're going to be putting out as far as the photography. But not only that, when it comes down to tattoos, a lot of people will be coming and getting something on those themes as well.
Very nice, very nice. Now, we were talking a little bit about the different aspects of it and whatnot off the air. And is there ever a reason that you guys have to maybe reject somebody for a tattoo?
Oh, yeah, there's plenty of reasons. One of the reasons would be if the person is under the influence of alcohol.
Sure.
And then another one would be if they're underage.
You cannot get a tattoo in the state of Washington if you're under 18, no matter if you have a parental consent or not. We can pierce you if you have your parent or legal guardian come with you. You just both need to bring valid ID. But nowhere in the state you should be able to get a tattoo if you're under 18.
Oh, okay. So maybe a common misconception, because I thought that too. Like if you had a note from your mom, you could get a tattoo.
No, you can't.
That used to be legal?
No,
not in this
never.
state.
Not at all? I feel like I've heard that before, like if you had your parents' consent or something, but maybe it was just piercings.
For piercings, definitely you can, but not on tattoos. And I know there's a lot of places, we have a lot of customers that will say, well, so-and-so did that for us, but, we strive really hard to stick with the law.
Right. You guys are a very safe corporation. All the needles, everything, we talked about, everything's sanitary, clean, ready to go. And, like we said, you want to do a lot of safe research and things like that. Make sure whoever you're going to is doing things right.
Absolutely. Yeah. Alex and his brother and sisters, they really strive on continuing to be up to date on their trainings and, their certifications. We only use sterile needles. We have autoclaves at the studio, and everything is cleaned and checked and has certifications on it. So if you ever have a question, you can always ask us. We don't use piercing guns, the ones that are at the mall, per se, to pierce ears, because those cannot be sterilized. So that is also another common misconception. People think that they're safe. They're okay, but you just get so much more safety with a sterile needle than you do with a piercing gun.
Oh, wow, I didn't realize that. So there is definitely a difference within that.
Absolutely. Plus, we have more flexibility. If people have smaller ears, you can't really get a good spot with a piercing gun, whereas with a needle, we can customize it to your ear.
Wow, that's very interesting. And it's interesting to see that you guys do not only the tattoos and the piercings, but the body paint as well. So is that like full body paint, or really anything you want? Or?
Yeah, anything the person wants. Sometimes we actually do a lot of theater plays. People come seeing if they have a role where they actually have to have either something tattooed or something painted. We will do that for them.
Oh, very nice.
And I was going to also mention a lot of tattoos that we don't do if they're gang-related or racist, connotations.
Right, they got to have the right message if you're even going to put them on there.
Yeah, of course.
That's a great thing. It's awesome. And I guess maybe we should talk about my design. We've
hidden it from the audience for so long now. I'm sure that everyone's wondering, what are you getting, Brad?
I'm sure. See.
I have to tell you, I'm really excited. It is Valentine's Day, and I know Brad didn't get me flowers, but he did confess his true love to me, and it's a heart with my name in it.
I did, and I was going to tattoo it myself, but she wouldn't let me. But yeah, so I got the number 59, and you know, like Katie was saying earlier, every tattoo's got a story. You know, it tells a personal something. And I guess mine's no different. It represents my grandfather, the number 59, and I have two brothers and sisters, or brother and sister, and so they have the same thing. I'm kind of the last one to get this thing going on. So, yeah, it's a tribute to my grandfather, and he was a huge fan of KGY. Growing up, we listened to the 7 o'clock news every day we were over there. I mean, this was a huge thing. So
Wow.
I know if Grandpa could have been here, too.
He would have been here to support you all the way.
Yeah.
Or get another tattoo, maybe.
Exactly. So there you go, a little bit of background on that whole thing. Plus, I used the kind of numbering font that you would find on the A Perfect Circle album, The 13th Step. If you look that up on YouTube, Google, or whatever, it's got some really cool, interesting fonts and that kind of thing. So
I like it. It looks great. It's a little bit bigger than I thought it was going to be, but I think it'll work well.
Oh, what, so now I need to have it redone?
I haven't seen the finished touch yet, so we'll talk about it later.
When it comes to tattoos, bigger is better. And
I
many
have
other
heard
things
that.
I heard size didn't matter. Is that not true?
Well,
That's not what she said.
Oh, that's a tattoo. Okay.
no, I have heard that, so many people are like, oh my gosh, it's into my first tattoo or something, and they always want to get it small, and then they realize I should have gotten it bigger.
Yeah.
So how do you help somebody when they decide that they want to get a tattoo? Do you suggest, don't go over the top and get your whole back done or something, but do you talk about that, and how do you help someone with that?
Well, when it comes to, it depends where the placement of the tattoo would be. If, when they're, we definitely don't want to go small, because with time, if the right technique is not used, that can actually bleed a little bit, and the lines can get thicker, and it almost looks like a blob.
Oh, okay.
So a size definitely makes a big difference. We're talking 20, 30 years from now.
Right.
Obviously, you're not going to see a change within 5 years, or maybe even 10.
Mm-hmm.
But when we're talking 20, 30 years from now, you'll see a big difference on as far as how thick the lines will get.
Right.
The recommended size for portraits.
So as far as portraits, like when you get portraits, you always want to go about 4 to 5 inches, to really get the features of the person. There's no doubt. As soon as it's seen who the person is, usually sometimes people has a misconception that, they can actually do portraits really small, which is, it's not only really hard to do, but it's really hard to actually be able to tell who the person is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So what is the longest tattoo that you've had? Like, you've worked on somebody's body. What's the longest it's taken to finish one tattoo on someone?
Well, like huge back pieces, people, they're eager to get done. But it depends really how long the person wants to sit. We've done as long as 9 hours.
Wow.
So,
But how long did you sit for yours?
Actually, I did my brother, Jacob, he did mine. It took about, mine took about 21 hours, but I did all 14-hour session.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you go numb after a while? Or?
No, we was just chatting, hanging out, and watching TV while I was watching TV.
He was crying the whole time. Let's be honest.
That would be the day.
So who's this modeled after?
This is actually is my tattoo. It has an angel. It just symbolizes faith. And it's got the Dzul, which is her last name.
Right.
And it's got familia in Spanish, which is family. And I have all the tools the artist uses, which is, a pencil, a marker, a brush, and I also have an airbrush. And then I also have some buildings here in the back, and I have a rose and the word bless with the arts.
Yes.
Gift, I guess.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
How long did it take you to design and come up with this? Did you help draw it, or?
Yeah, we both sat down and we talked about for quite some time, and then we came up with the design, and we put it down on paper, and then we made modifications from it, and then Jacob would go ahead and started it, and then I have some additions on my upper arm, where he did some wings and like a huge Old English initial on between the wings.
That's
Came out
cool.
really, really nice.
It looks great.
Yeah.
The portrait is amazing.
Yeah.
I definitely love the black and white, the shading and things. You don't always see a great artist that can kind of get all those features and really play with it. And so
Yeah, and that's why the size of the face is so important, because you can get so much details. I mean, even her eyelashes, you can see the
right, you
eyelashes.
can see every single, and they're like the big and what every girl dreams would be a perfect eyelash.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's great.
That is very cool. And you know, one thing that might be a common misconception is people say, "Oh, it hurts. It hurts." It doesn't really, though. It's more like kind of a sunburn or somebody poking at you, but it's not really a pain kind of thing.
Yeah, it's a little bit more like a pinch, like someone pinching you a little bit. And your body actually, it's not. If you really actually, people, if they are afraid, it's actually more painful than the actual pain. Sometimes people actually go there thinking that it's going to hurt, and they're so afraid that actually it hurts them. But if it hurt a lot of people won't have them. And
right.
A lot of people, I mean, actually all my friends that I know personally have a tattoo. So
yeah, and it seems to be, like you were saying, kind of off the air about an hour ago, more mainstream. Would you say more in the last 5 years, more in the last 10 years? So a lot of people are getting tattoos done.
Oh yeah, when it comes to tattoos, everyone seems to be getting a tattoo for different reasons. So it's definitely something that is within our culture already, and it's part of like just kind of choosing your, part of who you are,
And it's cool to hear, actually, the history of tattoos, because it goes back, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years. It's not necessarily new. People have been doing this for a while. But looking at your guys' practice in particular, you guys have been doing this for a while too, right? How long have you guys been in business?
We've been in business in the location where we are 7 years. We opened in 2004, but we actually been tattooing for 11 years.
Wow, is it something that you grew up wanting to do?
Well, we didn't really thought of becoming tattoo artists, but we definitely wanted to be artists since we were kids. And we started doing airbrush, and then next thing you know, we were doing tattoos, and then that's when it hit us that this is something that we're going to do for good.
Nice.
Yeah.
And now, looking at your guys' favorite art and your favorite pieces, who's maybe some of those artists that inspire you guys to want to make art?
Well, as far as who inspired us, you look at great artists and concepts like Picasso or Salvador Dali, or like the Italian master, what's his name?
Da Vinci.
Da Vinci. Those people, they did huge, great murals. Those people, not only do they have their craft, but their concepts were beyond. They were very original, and that's something that we really strive to be very innovative and original when it comes down to our art.
And you'll have to check them out, Dzul Tattoo, Piercing and Ink, and they've got a link on our Facebook page, facebook.com/AM1240KGY. That's very interesting. Now, do you guys see a lot of people coming in that want some kind of classic montage like that, something Da Vinci inspired? Or?
Oh, yeah. We have people who, they'll come in and say, hey, I want the Last Supper,
Okay.
and, and my whole back, or I want, just very traditional masterpieces. And yeah, we will be, we are able to duplicate them.
We actually did the Last Supper on someone's inner forearm a couple months ago.
Wow.
So
Wow.
It was extremely detailed, and he sat there like a champ through the whole thing.
Is that a difficult thing to do, to take a portrait like that or something so important and put it on skin? Because I imagine that's got to be kind of tricky.
It is difficult, but it's not difficult for us. Yeah, no, we actually have the picture on our Facebook and on our website. If anyone listening out there would like to check it out, it's right there, and we get a lot of compliments, on that specifically.
Yeah, definitely. That's where I kind of discovered you guys too. I was searching on Facebook and I saw it. I was like, wow, that's some really awesome artwork. And I started clicking around. I was there for like 20 minutes. Go, wow, check that out. So yeah, you'll have to check it out. Facebook.com/AM1240KGY, and then check out the page for Dzul Ink and Tattoo, or Ink and Piercing. Sorry, it's the needle starting to bounce around my head.
So do you have a favorite tattoo that you have drawn and done on someone? Is there one that just over the years sticks out in your mind that is just amazing that you feel like you did?
When it comes to tattoos, because each person, for the most part, wants something original that has a good meaning for them,
right,
and the stories that come with them. I think that each tattoo that we do, for the most part, is it sticks out because, it has so much meaning. Sometimes it could be something simple, but the meaning behind the tattoo is huge. And I mean, like memorial pieces, or like from, the 9/11 when that happened. We did a lot of those tattoos. And, when someone passes away and, we doing a portrait and the person's telling us their story, it just, you hear so many things that it makes you appreciate that we are able to actually do the tattoo for them.
Yeah.
That's cool. Do you remember your first tattoo that you did?
Yeah, it was. It wasn't that great. I mean, I thought it was, but I guess after few years afterwards, when I saw it, I told the guy to come back, and I wanted to redo it, which he did, and he was pretty happy. And to this day, where he only comes to me.
Really? That's quite an accomplishment.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool to have clientele that has stuck around for.
Oh yeah, since the beginning when we started, I mean, I know, for instance, my brother Jacob, he, there's people who always, once he gets into tattoo, they're always going to be looking for him, and it's been 11 years.
And they bring their family. So we'll have families that come in.
It's cool. I know I was talking to him earlier, and he was telling me that sometimes he sells his artwork now because people can't find him. He was telling me he had someone buy a piece from Australia because they couldn't find an artist. I was like, that is incredible that your art is so amazing. And, he has talented...
creating something original.
Right, definitely. And I think it's cool that people look and find you and... they're like, please send me something amazing.
Yeah, no, it's one of the things that every time we go, like, at a tattoo expo, like if we go to Portland or we go even in Seattle, when there's people who comes from all over the world, they can automatically see how, the difference, between original and something. I mean, we all know what's good when we see it, and that's kind of the thing.
It's cool that you guys seem to be able to take so many concepts like the one that we're designing for me and kind of see my vision and help me form it together and create something that's going to really blend with my body and things like that. You don't find someone that can be an artist and take an idea and make it better for that person.
Yeah, no, when it comes down to tattoos, we really learned that, making not only look really nice, but really satisfy the vision of the person, because I've heard many times people would always come to the shop and say, hey, I have this tattoo, but I'm not extremely happy with it, or I'm not 100% happy with it. Can you guys fix it? Can you guys do something with it? And one of the things that we learned was just to really take their vision and just make it look good.
Yeah.
And that's what it boils down to, it like have an amazing image, but really create the vision that the person had from the beginning.
Yeah, it's so cool. I am not an artist by any means, and I applaud anyone that can just kind of see what I'm trying to say and just create this masterpiece. I'm not an artist, and it's incredible.
Right, to see it is one thing, but to be able to put that on paper and then put that on somebody else, that's a great skill.
Yeah.
That's a great skill. And then what's your guys' favorite part about being in the tattoo industry overall?
Well, not only, obviously make a living of loving what you do.
Of course.
But
no, you have to love what you do, or it's not worth living for,
Yeah, that's one of the favorite things for me personally, and I know I've talked to Jacob a lot, and Katie here has told me that she really loves what she's doing. But like, not only that, but create like art that people not only are going to be wear for basically for good for the rest of their lives.
Yeah,
is one of the things.
And in a way, you guys are kind of creating those memories. Something to
Thank you for having us.
1240 KGY Olympia.